All right, good evening, guys. Ken at Tortoise Capital, nightly strategy podcast for February 21st, 2024. Start with a hybrid swing, 30-minute charts. This is Alcoa. This was yesterday's trade. Here's the gap up. It moves up, crosses the Bollinger Band mean. I enter it with the standard risk. It moves to here. The R10 rolls over. I take the exit just around the edge of the dragon for 2R. AI, gap down, no trade. Caterpillar, supported spring crossing for a fraction. Cliff, no trade. CVS, caught a 2 for about half an hour, exiting near the close. DIA was weak all day. I never got an entry that I could manage. No trade. Disney, big gap down. It's the third day of massive selling. It was a gap down to here and then sold off, so I entered short when it broke below the belly of the RL10. Instant short, standard risk, sold off hard, didn't want to hold it overnight. That's 1R. Still in play. Devon Energy, caught a 2 and an emerging dragon, really, because you have higher lows. Here's the gap up. It cleared the previous peak of the RL10. That's a buy. It's above a rising Bollinger Band mean. So that's a buy. Standard risk. It peaks here. The R10 rolls over there. Take the exit at the skin of the dragon just above the VWAP. And that is worth 2R. Emerging markets, no trade. Ethereum, this one was no trade. It was just weak all day. But it didn't panic sell off, so that's good. Mexico, this was a 1-2-3 short. Exit in the usual way at the dragon for 1. Brazil, no trade. Sideways quiet channel. Sideways quiet channel for China after the big gap up, but there was no follow through. Intel, this one was here's where it closed. Gap down. I missed the short. Got a 1-2-3 long here with a standard risk. This ran all the way up to here and then rolled over and came all the way back down. So I cashed 0.5. Thought about this as when it broke out of the dragon as the short. I didn't take it, and then it would have paid off. So that one's in play for tomorrow, but that's no place for a nervous person. IP, big gap down, sold off short, 1R, standard exit. Real estate, caught a 2, gentle reentry for a scratch. Coca-Cola, this one was a big gap up. It rolled over, and then I stuck around too long, took half an hour loss, bad form. Stabilized sideways. So I would take this one really as a compound critical state in either direction tomorrow. I thought that one would pay it, but no. So get for thinking. Regional banks missed the short again. McDonald's, no trade. I missed the short in the afternoon. MCHI behaved just like FXI. Those are really the same symbol. Merck was a collapsing dragon that fell through the Bollinger Band mean, standard short, exit at the standard rebound to the edge of the dragon for an R. Thought about this one as a 1-2-3, missed it, and then watched and refused to chase it. much to my regret. So look for that thing to have an interesting move tomorrow after this little premonition. Is that true? Is that really what it's going to do tomorrow to return back to the 30-day high? So put a little bracket around that and go long or short out of that compound critical state. That's my plan for tomorrow. Microsoft caught a two short for a scratch. Marijuana, no trade. Nike caught a two continuation, crossed the Bollinger Band mean, standard risk, hold my nose and buy it. And up we go for about 3R. Standard exit. NVIDIA caught a two standard short, 2R. Clean energy. Collapsing dragon, standard short, standard risk, standard 1R exit. Rivian missed the short big time, span of control. The S&P was weak all day, but then in the last half hour had that extraordinary bump to the upside. We'll see what that looks like. Treasuries weakness all day. Tesla, big gap up. I got long. It sold off sharply, so I kept a fraction. Walmart tried the rebound on a 1, 2, 3. That failed and covered for a half an hour loss. I don't know what I was doing there. That just I can't explain it. I was looking at the I was on the 3 minute and this thing gapped down to here, sold off, started running up on a 1, 2, 3, and then it rolled over and I stayed too long. So it looks stupid, but the closer I look, it actually does look stupid. So I've been stupid before though. Caught a two continuation, cleared the dragon, standard risk, standard exit, got a bad fill in the middle of the dragon for a scratch. This is sniper trade of the day. A couple of this one was yesterday's close. There was a gap up into here and continued to move up. When it cleared yesterday's close with the standard risk box, just buy it. You can see this was the VWAP from yesterday, and the VWAP is running up. It has to because it's going up. So just buy it. Standard exit when it comes back to the dragon for about 3R. Crosses below the VWAP after a big fail. So like a double top and everything fails, and then the RL30 rolls over. That makes this an owl entry. There's the PSAR flip. I waited that long to get in. It tested the Bollinger Band mean. There's my standard risk, and it failed. Continued to decay. PSAR is governing it. It crosses the PSAR. So I cover the short for 2R. It fails immediately. Collapsing dragon, re-entry. Standard risk. Half an R. Lunchtime doldrums. I missed the Kata 2. Missed the short. Missed the long. So about 5R altogether on that one. That was Tesla. This one was a it closed here, it opened, and here's your OR3, came all the way down and then started moving back up. It breaks out of the OR3, so I get long, aiming for the Bollinger Band mean. There's my standard risk, which is smaller than the OR3. That's how big that opening range 3 was. Scratch, short, cover for 2, stop and reverse on the PSAR flip and the SSC, get 2, Get short when it crosses the Bollinger Band mean on an owl. Captures 2. Standard SSC after the Bollinger Band mean reverses. I just speculated in, and that thing just exploded through the VWAP and then made a caught a 2-second entry. So I just said, what the heck? Jesus. Better to be lucky than good. Merck. That was part of that afternoon. This is when the S&P just exploded north, and I happened to be in Merck and just lucked into that running of the bulls. And I had no idea why it was doing that. So I don't want to find out while I have a position on. So let me just exit and try to figure it out. Better to be lucky than good sometimes. The preparedder I am, the luckier I get. I noticed that. Hamad, let's see what we got here. I want you to get short there so bad. We have a move up, it stalls. You get the RL30 rolling over. You got a PSAR flip. The long fails. It's a minus 0.8. PSAR flip. There's your Bollinger Band mean. So if this fails a little bit and gets below the Bollinger Band mean, you should officially have a short side bias here. So it doesn't hurt to get short there. And then you get this move and then exit here. So instead of losing 3, you make 1.5. And then when this fails at the Bollinger Band mean, you get short here again on the PSAR flip. And that gives you most of that trade. You've identified the OR3. This was a big gap up. Get long there. Could get long here on the OR3 breakout. You get this trade. And then exit here. So that wins. I like this short. When this fails right away and it crosses the VWAP, I get long there. And I scratch here and I get short there. And then it scratches again. And then I'm done with it. But you get a little taste on that very first move, and then you stay out of this chop. I like this later in the day to give it a shot. Maybe that's 10 cents too early. I don't know. It takes a break of the VWAP to officially get you out. But if you can get long here, cut it here, then we got to be able to get long again in here when it does not fail. The last hint was this noised you out. Think about that. Okay, here's your OR3. This rolls over. This is a pretty good short. An interesting short, the more aggressive short is when you get the OR3 and this thing reverses and comes up to here and then can't get through the dragon and reverses again. Could be short there. So that's a good entry. I like cutting it here at the VWAP, and then you could get long here. That's still pretty good. Then I think I get out here instead of here. Why? Because the R10 rolls over and you're trying to make some money after losing 0.4. You'd like to get paid there. And so instead of making 0.2, you get long here and get out there. That at least negates that trade. I like this effort here. I think that's about as close to a perfect entry as you can get. When that doesn't work, get short, and then you have this entire move. This is still a reasonable way to capture the win on this one. Uh, Big gap down. I'd probably end up getting short somewhere in here. Now, on this rebound, 1, 2, 3, it gets to the VWAP, cannot get through the dragon and starts rolling over. So when you have a close, a gap down, a sell off, and then it rolls over, you're getting this kind of a pattern. Close, big gap down, and then this thing fails. So this is a lower high. Treat that as a lower high. You can get short right in here. As soon as it crosses the VWAP, you won't lose money on that trade. I'd probably be short here. And if you put your standard risk on that, I don't know that you ever get out of that trade. If you do, it's a scratch. And that is a brilliant short and a great exit. So there's a little bit of room for improvement on that one, I think. Jonathan, it's up a little bit. RL10 reverses. So one way to look at this is if you had been short in here and there's this move, you would love to be short in there. But when you see the R10 reverse, then you come up from the point of that, and then you say, my exit would be here on this little rebound, because that's the skin of the dragon. That actually makes that a pretty interesting long position for advanced day trading. So you can actually think about getting long here. And then you have a 1, 2, 3. The 1, 2, 3 entry long is here. The crossing of the VWAP is here. So this is still a pretty good entry. Now, when this peaks, then you get out right there. That's the appropriate exit for that entry because of the peak of the R10. But now start studying some of these as potentials. Um, I like the short here. This is supposed to fail. When it doesn't fail and comes through the Bollinger Band mean and the VWAP, I probably am out here with a long right there. And that's pretty good, and that does get paid. I think you must have gotten a bad fill for that to be a larger than 1 hour loss. I'm really tempted to get out there. Um, that same logic, big gap down and harsh sell off. This is where the R10 peaks. So, and there's the VWAP and the spine of the dragon or crossing of the RLXD. That's a pretty good entry with a tight wrist box, like right there. It had 2 chances to fail and it didn't, and it's going up and it crossed the dragon. So that makes that even better. And then when this peaks, you get your exit here instead of there. And then you can get short here instead of here. And so it's a micro improvement. Let's see what we got here. Low of the day, frog box entry, cash is a win. I like the short when it crosses the VWAP. This is a mechanical exit. That's fine. I look at these and say, look, this is supposed to fail right away down to a rising Bollinger Band mean. When it doesn't, I probably get out here instead of here. Just saying. So a learning trade. No harm, no foul. Nice work on Devon here. So this is frog box off or hybrid frog box off the low. rolls over, cash a win. Get short, it doesn't fail, scratch it. I'm really tempted in here. And the reason being, you got this low in the RL10, so trace that. And now you got a Kata 2 forming. Price comes through the dragon, R10 comes through the dragon. Both of those are justified because you're above a rising VWAP, you got the dragon. So what's the worst thing that happens if you get long here and you just put your stop there? It's even less than the risk box that you had. So you actually are reducing your risk by getting in earlier and speculating. And then if it fails, you could be short from there. So there's no harm of getting longer sooner. And this is still a good entry, and you get 1.1, but you almost get 2 by entering at either one of those instead of that one. And that's a good exit right there. High of the day, hybrid frog, short, collapses, get paid an R. Beauty. Then you got this sideways chop. That's a good eye. That's waiting for confirmation. It didn't go either way, so just get out. That's good. Now, this is more like a sideways quiet channel breakdown. That's possible. This is one I really want to take because now you have this a high, a lower high. It's coming through the dragon. The VWAP is there. I like that. I like a short inside here, and then that move rewards you. Still, 0.9, good stuff. Luke continuing to work on his, I think it's a 25 tick. And he's getting the usual plays according to his rules. He gets the breakout above the PSAR. He gets long. Bad fill. Re-enter on the PSAR flip. Gets paid. 1.7 execution risk. Waits for the far side of the hill to exit. Nice mechanical system. We're in the data acquisition stage. We're still stalling at the top of the, if this is, leg 3, because this is leg 2, and that's leg 1. Leg 4 is weaker, and it's rolling over for almost 8 days now, and it's still stuck here. This feels like it's rolling over, and then the RL30 is rolling over too. So this is caution. And the Bollinger Band mean is like a timing model on this thing. It says, hey, you only got that much room before the Bollinger Band mean gets you out. Notice that the PSAR gets you out. The Bollinger Band mean is the next thing that gets you out. So there's only that little wedge of joy left. And this bottom of the R10, if that breaks, then this entire move up is wasted. If that's where your stop is. So this is getting close to fish or cut bait time, because if 490 fails, there's no support in here. The next support is this cluster, and it's either going to be 476 or 470, depending on whether you're pessimistic or optimistic where you want to put your stop. So this is fish or cut bait time right now. This is really critical. Not seeing that on the news though, are you? Yeah, this is not good. This is a peak of the R10. That's a lower high. This is already a lower low, so you're getting this. And this RL30 is rolling over. This is looking like owl territory short from here. If it breaks below there, I'm going to speculate short in a heavy way. And then my targets would be Bollinger Band mean, halfway down, target 3. So target 1, target 2, target 3, target 4. I'm ready to pile on that thing. 2 days left in this week. And remember, this was only any good because of this rocket move in the last half an hour to take it from despair up into a hint of optimism. I mean, we'll see. This could work, but that feels more like the plunge protection team trying to keep that locked in. But if it fails below here, below that red line, dude, you need to be short. And then the second position, if it falls below 491 and 50, that's the kicker. If this fails and then this fails, look out below. Bullish normal, long-term strong, softness in the shorter term. Volatility is starting to reach, looking for the downside. It's voting down is the volatility. It's been risk off for a while, so we're not entitled to take big optimistic risks right now. Now, interestingly, you had some big breakouts here, JP Morgan and Coke. So that's not tech leaders. And here's Procter and Gamble, not a tech leader. There's Devon Energy made a short-term buck, not a tech leader. Where's your tech? Oh, IBM, Intel, weak. Walmart weak, that's not a good sign. There's some nervousness in the service. On the ETFs, you got a reasonable set of short or of auto framers, I should say. Some weakness in treasuries, a small breakout here in energy, that's a swing only. And utilities get some defensive plays. Otherwise, this is looking weak. I like the squeeze in retail and McDonald's, but this is starting to be a little bit troublesome. We're seeing more symbols now in the fall with a lot of weakness. Things that used to be winning, like Microsoft, IBM, Walmart, Caterpillar, Amazon, American Express, those were all winners, but they're rolling over and then they're in the lower half of their Red River. That's not a good sign. And then the things that are in the summer are not the tech leaders. It's some energy with temporary goodness, some defensive plays like United Health, and then some finance, JP Morgan, Goldman. So that's not the tech leaders. Weakness creeping in long term. PBW is now up in second position here. Marijuana and clean energy at the top of the trading value. Tesla's still up there as a good trader. Intel and Nvidia were weak today. Those are interesting shorts to me. Devon Energy marching back up the stack to be a useful trader again. Yeah. That slope of the RL30 is showing definite signs of weakness, and it's outside the normal river. So that is a significant concern. And then the 90 has almost gone sideways, and that means the end of that run, which got up almost to 3 sigma. So I mean, that's a heck of a good run, but this is starting to stall here. So warning. That's everything for today, guys. We'll get this published and posted. There was some really good stuff in the book review for the book club tonight. I'll post that too. All of those files plus some supplemental material is going to go into building a introduction to tortoise trading. That's like a pre-course for the foundations course, because foundations course is getting so large that that's going to be about a 10 to 15 hour introductory and refresher course, which will be on sale once it's all finished. So if you're listening along week to week, that's a chance to get that stuff for free while the price is right. Take good care.